Hey, I promise you, top 32 NFL quarterbacks. Maybe I should do that now. Should I do that now? Oh man, this is gonna be a great year. I cannot wait. Hey, I promise you, top 32 NFL quarterbacks. Maybe I should do that now. Should I do that now? And do what I'm gonna, because I'll give you guys a little bit of what I want to see in the game against the Dolphins over the weekend, offensively and defensively. All right. I think we will do that. Don't forget, Lord Brunson, watch this. I booked him, and I forgot the time. I think he said 5:30. I told Xander 3:30, so this is on Big Sills today here too, okay? Folks are too sensitive, Sills. Yeah, but not me. I'm never sensitive. I'm an even keel kind of guy, man. Okay? An even keel kind of guy. I never get twisted. That's for other people, like Xander and them guys. Not me, man. Here we go, baby. The revised top 32 NFL quarterbacks in the National Football League. Are you ready? The worst quarterback in the National Football League right now, in my opinion, is Drew Lock as a starter. What has Seattle done? So that's how Pete Carroll's going to end his coaching career in Seattle and in the NFL with Drew Lock. I mean, could you be more ill-prepared for your moving on from a Hall of Fame quarterback than this? This guy's terrible, man. Drew Lock has shown us nothing in Denver. And Pete is going to go into retirement. And you're going to look at Pete Carroll, and you know what you're going to say about him? A really good football coach. You know, and was carried by Russell Wilson. Number 31, I got the kid Mills with the Texans. I don't think he's horrible. I just don't know what they have around him right now. You know, I actually don't think David Mills is horrible. I think that he has some potential. And remember something. Even when I say this with Drew Lock, there's only 32 jobs like this in the world where you're a starting quarterback in the National Football League. So these are premium jobs, and he's one of the best players on the planet to be a starting quarterback. I like actually David Mills. I think David Mills is pretty good, man. The greatness of Daniel Jones sitting at number 30 with the Giants. He should probably be the worst. I think he stinks. I thought he stunk when he was at Duke. To me, he's Dave Brown 2.0. I mean, I get it, because he was coached by David Cutcliffe, because that was Manning's coach at Tennessee. We're supposed to somehow play into that David Cutcliffe is his guru when it comes to quarterbacks. Like, who else is David Cutcliffe schooled when he was at Duke that went on to be a great quarterback at Duke? I'm trying to figure that out. Who, T. Martin, when he was at Tennessee? Tell me, help me. Help me. Heath Schuler? Give me a guy that David Cutcliffe has coached outside of Peyton Manning, where you went, David Cutcliffe is a great quarterback guru. He's not. He had one guy. He had one dude. Zach Wilson, baby. Jets, 29. Another guy. He's got a pretty good arm. He's got a nice zip on the football. But it's the Jets. You don't really think the Jets are going to mature him and develop him into a starting quarterback where you go like this, he's a franchise. You don't really think that, right? The Jets have no coaching. The Jets, can I tell you a secret about the Jets? You ready? It's not that they don't draft good players. They don't hire good coaches. One coach in 60-plus years has a winning record as a head coach. And it happens to be the Hall of Fame coach, Bill Parcells. And the only other coach they ever had that was good was Weeb Ewbank. Do you know what Weeb Ewbank's distinction was? He won a Super Bowl as a head coach in the AFL and in the NFL. Weeb Ewbank is a world champion coach. He coached the Colts and he coached the Jets. That was world championship, not Super Bowl. So he's got world championship titles in the NFL and the AFL because he coached the Colts to the 58 title. Those are the only two coaches that were worth a shit in New York. They don't hire good coaches. Why do you think Belichick said, no, I don't think so? And the Patriots had to give first-round draft choices up to the Jets for Belichick. Hey, I love Herm Edwards. He's my guy too. But I don't know. He didn't have a 500 record in New York. They don't hire. Hey, and by the way, you could hire a good head coach like Herm and not be given the opportunity to hire good assistant coaches. Buddy Ryan was on Weeb Ewbank's staff, that Jets staff. I believe Buddy was the D-line coach on that Jets team that beat the Colts in the third Super Bowl. I think Buddy was the D-line coach on that team. You imagine that, Buddy Ryan. So Buddy Ryan has a 1985 Bears ring as the DC, and he's got a Super Bowl ring from maybe the most famous Super Bowl of all time, Super Bowl III. You talk about coaching. Buddy Ryan's got some important championship rings, man. I wonder what means more to him, that 85 Bears one or that 69 Jets one, because no one gave the Jets a chance to win it. Buddy was the D-line coach. Okay? I think the coach, hey, Moose, I think the Jets coach sucks. He ain't showing me shit yet. Number 28, I got Justin Fields. I said he stunk when he was at Ohio State. Nothing's moved me off that. And another place where you go to die if you're a quarterback. The Bears, Chicago. Honestly, can you name me a quarterback they drafted that was worth a shit in the last 40 years? Who? McMahon? Okay. Who else? Rex Grossman? give me a give me a guy. Who they have in there? Jay Cutler once? The Bears, hey, the Bears can draft linebackers and defensive football players, but they cannot draft quarterbacks. There's just some places that don't get a position right, and Chicago doesn't get the position right. Kyle Orton, Jim Miller, look at these names. Mitchell Trubisky. These are all duds. I lowered this, and you guys are probably going to be shocked when I say this. I got Carson Wentz at 27. You guys have won. You guys have won on Wentz. This guy's got bad habits, man. Xander, you're right. I don't even give a shit about his personality, or he whines and he cries. All these quarterbacks whine and cry. All of them are like divas and such. It's okay. They're all weirdos. But he's got bad habits. Pat, 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 go to your left or right, sack. Doesn't know where he is in the huddle. Has to have everything perfect. Man, if he doesn't have and I mean by a perfect setup, if he has any pressure on him, he goes down, man. I've never seen a guy go down more like that. I mean, honestly, this guy here, he constantly just, there's any pressure, you're getting to him, and he won't throw it away. I tried telling you guys, punt the freaking ball, man. But look, watch this. He's capable of sitting back there with no pressure like a Jonathan Gannon guy. I can't wait to see how Gannon coordinates against Carson Wentz. If he lets him sit back there, Wentz will beat him twice. And you'll go like this. Yeah, but Sills were better. Well, your DC's not. Dominic goes, but Wentz has good numbers. He can't be bad. He's got bad moments. You see, Dominic, the difference between Carson Wentz and Jalen Hurts doesn't have good numbers as a quarterback. He doesn't have good numbers. Wentz does. But Jalen doesn't have the bad habits. He's coached better. He's listened. He just doesn't have this true athletic talent throwing the ball as Carson does. That's a fact. He's not the passer Carson Wentz is. Carson Wentz owns all your records in Philly. Dude, Rick Meyer, too. I thought, man, who was that other Notre Dame quarterback that came out the year Bledsoe came out? He actually beat Bledsoe out for the Rookie of the Year. Dual threat quarterbacks like Hurts don't need everything to be perfect. Dual threat quarterbacks don't win big games. They don't win big games, dual threat. And he's not a dual threat. Stop with that, Steven. Jalen Hurts is not a dual threat. No one's threatened by his arm. Not one coordinator in the NFL is threatened by Jalen Hurts and his arm. You don't really think that, do you? You don't think that there's a defensive coordinator out there that is in fear of that guy torching him for 450 yards, do you? There's not a coordinator in the NFL that thinks that. They're actually going to make that guy throw the ball to beat him. Wentz stinks. Like I said, he has stinky moments. Wentz was dual threat. Dual threat. Yeah, that threw for 4,000 yards and 33 touchdowns. Okay? He's a better passer. Your guy's not. Your guy's not a passer. Why are you making things up? You're lying. All of you that are saying that are lying. You're lying to yourselves. Number 26, I even have Marcus Mariota ahead of him. And I don't really think that much of Marcus Mariota, except that he's a great guy. I like him. And watch this. Of all these quarterbacks from 26 down, the guy I'm rooting for the most is I'm really rooting for Marcus Mariota. Man, I hope he does something good. I really do. Doubtful, though. I've lowered this. I've dropped Ryan Tannehill down to 25. He's the second dude in that building. And as long as Derrick Henry's in that building, he'll always be the second fiddle. He's not a lead dude. You see, in Philadelphia, Jalen's the lead dude, but not as a passer, as a runner. You guys constantly throw that stat at me about his 10 touchdowns and 800 yards, which is far more impressive than his passing. You're right. When you think of Jalen Hurts, you don't think of throwing the ball at all. You think of running the ball. That's a fact. That's not a lie. Like you guys are saying, he's some sort of reinvented guy in 8 months. It's a joke. It's a complete joke when you think that. Complete joke. Number 24. This is going to be crazy when I say this to you. I got Mitchell Trubisky here at 24. I think Mitchell Trubisky is getting really great coaching in Pittsburgh. I do think deep down, I think they think Matt Corral is going to be the starter by the end of the year. But I think he got great coaching from Brian Daboll and from Sean McDermott up in Buffalo and being around Ken Dorsey. I think he's a better player. I've watched him. He hasn't done anything horrible. He's not bad. He's got a winning record as a starting quarterback, too, in the NFL. He's not horrible. He's just now being pegged now. And here's what I think happened to Mitchell Trubisky. I think the apple was still green when they picked it off the tree in North Carolina. He needed another year. I just think he needed more playing time at Carolina. You know, I mean, he never really matured. You guys remember that one guy? I mean Pickett. Yeah, excuse me, Jeremiah. I mean Pickett. Yeah. I do. I mean Pickett. Excuse me. Okay. Right. Yeah, that threw me. Xander just threw me, as usual. Okay, here we go. Hang on for a second. Let's see here. This is Lord Brunson. Hey, listen, I had a family emergency. I'm sorry, Dan. I meant to let you know earlier. So let's see what happens here. They had a family emergency, so we'll see what happens here. If he's going to still be able to do it. I told him, no sweat, no problem. We're all good. If that doesn't happen here, so it's all good. Don't worry about it. Yeah, Trubisky was with Chicago. I didn't think he was that bad. But Richie, Trubisky was in Buffalo last year, my friend. Okay, he wasn't in Chicago last year. He was in Buffalo. And he was backing up Josh Allen. Okay, and he was a Bear. But he's gotten better coaching when he went there. And now that he's in Pittsburgh, I think he's getting better coaching too. So he looks pretty decent right now. I got Jameis Winston at number 23, Saints. Here's another guy that I'm going to be watching this year. And I'll say this to you. If Jameis Winston can pick up where he and Pete Carmichael picked up last year, where he was 5-1, I think the Bucs are going to have a tough time with that Saints team again. That's not going to be a walk in the park for the NFC South like I thought it was. Jameis Winston's looked good too. And everyone's like this, man, I don't know. And Carmichael's cut those interceptions down. You know, everyone's like, well, Sean Payton's not there. Well, the real play caller too. Carmichael is unlike Eric Bieniemy. He was actually play calling last year because he has actually for the last couple of years. I think Jameis Winston, don't be shocked if you see 4,500 yards with all that talent that they have down there. Now, Kamara's not going to be available right away. But, boy, I'll tell you something. Winston, of all these quarterbacks with all these question marks, here, I'll say this to you. You don't actually think Jalen Hurts has a better passing and is more gifted as a passer than Jameis Winston, do you? You don't really believe that. Jameis Winston is a very, very talented passer. He's done things Hurts will never do. He's thrown for 5,000 yards. Yes, mistakes. But that high-risk offense that Bruce Arians has is not conducive to a guy who could be reckless. Like, watch this. Brett Favre would have had 30 picks in that offense, as reckless as he is. He would have had 30 picks. No risk it, no biscuit. Brady didn't like it. When they were 7-5, Brady had to, like I've been telling you guys, they had to have a compromise. Brady wasn't going to throw the ball. Brady never made a living throwing the ball deep in his entire career, except for the 1 year he had Moss. Okay? Yeah, CT Philly, and add 5,000 yards too. Okay? You think that he has, well, last year, hey, Swansky, well, last year he had a higher quarterback rating before he got hurt than Tom Brady when he went out. Okay? Number 22, I got Baker Mayfield here with the Panthers. He's a dude. Not going to win you a boatload of games, but he's not going to kill you. But if you're down, he ain't throwing you into a win. He's just that guy. He's not in the Christian McCaffrey's there. You know, there's some people think that they're kind of waiting in the weeds there a little bit and all they need is a guy. But he ain't a guy that's going to, like, carry you. He's a caboose, too. This guy's a caboose. He's not going to pull a team across the finish line. I never looked at Baker Mayfield as the engine. You know what I mean? He's a caboose. Man, add Tom Brady to this team. Tom Brady on the Eagles, 17 wins. Jameis Winston is a lot better as a passer than a bunch of guys. Absolutely. Okay? Absolutely. 21, I got Tagovailoa here. I go back and forth on him. I do. My problem with him, though, he's not a very good deep ball thrower. And how could you not be a good deep ball thrower with Jalen Waddle and Tyreek Hill? You talk about a quarterback that doesn't fit your personnel, it's Miami. So you got a dink and dunker passer and two guys that are blazers on the other side of each other. Think about that. You talk about a system for a quarterback. Well, he can't throw very deep, but he's accurate. Then why'd you get the speedster Tyreek Hill? A.J. Brown makes more sense. A.J. Brown made more sense for Miami on the other side of Waddle, in my opinion. See, to me, again, this is about matching up your quarterback with your talent. Look at what they did in Cincinnati with Ja'Marr Chase. They got a kid he played with. There was a comfort zone, a familiarity. They had success together. And guess what? It translated into the NFL. There was a common theme there. Tua, Waddle, there was kind of a common theme there. They had success at Alabama. There was a theme. You put another guy on the other side, though, I'm like this. A speedster and you can't throw deep. I don't know. Yeah, but hey, all around, Jameis is better than Mayfield. Jameis is coming off a sit in the bench, and he's also coming off of an injury. Let's see how he handles it. My question mark all around has always been this with Jameis Winston, and I covered him when he was with the Bucs. Is he mature enough to handle adversity? Okay? This is where Jalen Hurts. I have no problems with him at this. Certain guys have problems with this. Baker Mayfield's maturity, I have a problem with. Okay? Okay? I mean, number 20, Trey Lance. I can't wait to see this guy. He'll be down next to Justin Fields by the end of the year, my opinion. He'll be down there by the end of the year. Okay? I'm with you, Xander. All I hear about the guy talking, and now hear Kyle Shanahan coming out going, yeah, it's exhibition football. He stunk. I watched it. He stunk. And watch this. And you got a Super Bowl roster. Hey, I'll tell you this. Make no mistake about it. The Eagles and the 49ers have potential conference championship teams. The 49ers, man, you better have picked right. You know that movie with Indiana Jones? The guy picks the wrong grail, ends up killing the guy. Don't kill your roster here because you picked wrong and you sent Jimmy Garoppolo home. You sent Jimmy Garoppolo home. And by the way, I'll say it one more time. If Garoppolo is on the Eagles, I feel more comfortable with 13 wins. Why? Because he's done it. That's why. He's won everywhere. He's won 70% of his games. Yeah, I know, but Sills, he's not going to win a Super Bowl. Okay. That's what they're saying in San Francisco right now. They're saying Trey Lance is going to take that team further. We'll see. You're gambling on potential. They took certainty away in San Francisco. Certainty. They took a certainty with Garoppolo that you're going to be one of the top 3 teams in the NFC and rolled the dice with it and said, go get him, Trey. Again, I had to look up Trey Lance's college tape because you know why? He's only played one game in the last 3 years and a couple exhibition football games and a couple spot plays last year. But you turned the keys over to him. Good luck to you. I don't believe that. Okay? I do not believe in letting a guy who's 38 and 16 go, and you may end up even cutting him for a guy who hasn't done shit. Believe me. And by the way, if I'm hard on Jalen, Jalen's way more accomplished than Trey Lance is. Alternate to the Pro Bowl, went to the playoffs, won 9 games. I want to see that kid equal Jalen. There ain't that much difference in teams. Okay? 49ers probably have a better defense by a smidgen. They got a better pass rusher for sure. Okay? Nick Bosa is second best pass rushing defensive lineman in the league. He's the second best. It's not a debate. It's Donald and him. His brother might be fourth. Okay. Hey, you know what, Joseph? You may be right. But I'll tell you what, one thing I can say if I'm Jimmy Garoppolo, how many Super Bowls have you been to? How many conference title games have you went to? I'm 5-2 in the postseason. What are you? What's your quarterback? Your quarterback's 0-1. Okay? This guy's actually beaten Brady. This guy's actually beaten Aaron Rodgers. This guy's beaten people like that. Matthew Stafford. Okay, that's a certainty. And Garoppolo doesn't put up the stats. Well, neither does your boy. You can't have it one way and not the other way. Well, he just wins. He doesn't really give you a chance to win. Well, your quarterback's never going to throw you to a Super Bowl either. He's going to be part of the ride. Yeah, Joseph, I would say that it's a little more complete in San Francisco, the defense. I would say it's a little more complete. Moose, it's not that I don't hate Jalen. I don't like that style of play. And I don't like all the cheerleading that's been going on with him. I don't like all the false gold and fool's gold that people have been saying in the offseason here, that a guy got 50% better in 8 months since they were destroyed by the Bucs. I went and watched that game yesterday again. There's no way he's improved that much. And A.J. Brown doesn't do that. A.J. improves your offense, yeah, if you can find him. Now he's got to look for 3 guys. He couldn't find one last year. Now he's all of a sudden this miraculous progression reader. Like I was talking to somebody, I think I was talking to Baldy the other day. How much possibly do you think he has improved in what you've seen so far in training camp? Marginally? Yeah. Knows where to go with the drills. Okay. They broke camp today. 75% of the time they were in helmets and shorts, and you're telling me they got better. How is that a common sense thing to think that? How can you get better when you're not practicing hard or playing hard? And you've got suspect coaching on one side of the ball. I think the star of the offseason has been Howie Roseman. Because Howie has done something that I will give him credit for. He's put a roster together that should win. And that's where I'm on. Look at Joseph. He's better 30%. 30%. He's the MVP. He's the best quarterback in the NFL if he's 30% better. He's better than Lamar Jackson if he's 30% better. So you're telling me that Patrick Mahomes has hit a ceiling now and he'll never he doesn't get better. What do you get better? 1%? So he gets to a point and he doesn't get better, but Jalen does. It's flawed thinking. Lamar can only run. Really, he led the NFL in passing. Passing touchdowns. Unanimous MVP. He can only run. Shows you what you know. Okay, let's move on. I got Jared Goff at 19. Jared Goff has won an NFC championship. I think they're trying to do some good things up there. The only problem that I have with Jared Goff, and, I'm giving you my true assessment on a guy. he has moments where he can play great, but he has moments where he is just so inconsistent. It's too up and down. Drove Sean McVay crazy. I talked to Sean about this. It's not that they hated him. They didn't hate him. But their swings and the type of play, he'd go like this, man. And then you'd wonder where he's throwing the ball, and you just go like this. Man, you just – everything that McVay did with him, they were going to go as far as they could. But his inconsistency drives people crazy. They see a little bit of that still in Detroit. We saw a lot of that last year. Now, I don't think they really had a lot to work with, but I will say this, okay? I think they've improved the roster. Their old line's better. It should be a better offensive output this year, okay? I do. And they got the third best according to Pro Football Focus. Mike, they've got the third best O-line according to those guys. So they've improved. Penei Sewell, the kid from Oregon, I think he's added a lot to that. They've done a really nice job. Okay. I'm going to stop at 19 because I got to take a break, right, Xander? We got to take a break here. All right. So let me recap here. 32 lock, Mills. 31, I'm going over the Big Sills revamped list of top 32 quarterbacks. 30 is Daniel Jones. 29 is Zach Wilson. 28 is Justin Fields. 27 is Wentz. 26 is Mariota Falcons. 25 is Tannehill Titans. 24 is Trubisky Steelers. 23 is Winston Saints. 22 is Baker Mayfield Panthers. 21 is Tua Dolphins. 20 is Trey Lance, 49ers. 19 is Jared Goff, Lions. And number 18, coming in strong, your Philadelphia Eagle quarterback, the great Jalen Hurts. My assessment on Jalen, putting a scouting report on him. The intangibles we talk about. Let's talk about skill set. Okay. Limited passer. Scrambling ability is really good. Smarts for the game and pocket presence, really good. Arm strength, not accuracy. Moves really well. Okay. I mean, he moves really well to his right. Okay. Not so much to his left. Will put the ball on the ground and has to improve, as I said, in his passing. He's a great runner, though. And Jalen Hurts wins games because of his intelligence and his wheels, not because of his arm. And that's what separates him with some of these quarterbacks like Mayfield, who's immature and can't win either way. You see, you got to remember something here. Winston's not going to win with his feet. He's going to win with his arm. But see, Jalen is smarter than Winston, and his wheels carry him further. Can't be the 27th passing quarterback in the NFL and sit here on August 26th and tell me he's one of the elite arms. He's by far one of the elite arms. Not even close. Most of these guys like Trubisky and these guys have better arms. But Jalen is smarter than some of these guys. He's been coached well from his dad. Okay? 18th best guy. You're almost in the middle of the pack. I don't think that's a rip. Now, do I see him trending up? Yes. Yes, I do. Like, I see Trey Lance trending down. Baker Mayfield trending down. I see again Jalen trending up. Hurts will make you eat. Oh, I know. Hurts has improved 25%. Oh. 25%. You just broke camp and you had 70% of your camp in helmets and shorts and controlled environment, but you think he's improved 25%. Where? I heard a guy talking to the Sports Take guys. Who was that guy that was on with him? You had a picture of him up, Xander. You know what he said? He improved a little, not a lot. He's improved, but not a lot. He said it. It's not just me. Jimmy Kempski said he's improved a little, but not a lot. I don't know how much he's totally improved, but he's improved. What was it like he thought he improved 25%? This guy here. He even goofed on Sirianni talking about his greatest practice of all time. I mean, let's see what happens here. I'm with you. I got Trevor Lawrence at 17. He's trending up. This guy has all the talent and all the skills, everything. We talk about potential with Jalen. I'm actually seeing improvement when he's in the exhibition games. I'm actually seeing it. Him throwing to wide open wideouts, making a tough throw. He made a tough throw down the sidelines a week ago, right over a guy's shoulder where only one guy could make the throw. He is really, man, I mean, and Xander said it too. The one thing that Jalen doesn't do, Jalen's not going to hang out in the pocket. If no one's open, he's taking off. Trevor Lawrence, you know the mark of a great quarterback? He's going to hang back there and take a hit. Jalen ain't going to take a hit. He's not a coward. It's just not what he does. He ain't going to sit there and give his receiver every opportunity to get open. That's the difference between a star quarterback and a quarterback who's not sure yet. Xander talks to me about a hitch, and he takes off too soon. Trevor Lawrence is going to hang in there like every star quarterback does. Joe Burrow, 50 sacks last year. Took him to a Super Bowl. You know what that's from? Letting Jamar Chase being covered. Jamar Chase is being covered 90% of the route. All of a sudden, the last 5%, he gets open. Burrow completes the pass to him, takes a massive hit. Jalen ain't doing that. He ain't doing that. That quarterback, like Burrow and them dudes, they sit in that pocket. And they know they ain't running around because they can't. They're sitting there. They're looking at their star wideout. He's covered. And you know what he does? He's opened the last 1 second of the route, and he delivers a strike. That's my guy. That's championship ball. That's championship football. Oof, baby. Yeah, well, the coach said it, didn't he? Sirianni? Guy's not open. He's taking off. Oh, well, Brady can't take off. Burrow can't take off. But they win more games that matter for a reason. Running around like you're on Madden 23 doesn't do anything for you. You know what you get? You get the Michael Vick trophy. Hey, I look good, don't I, in a uniform? Ain't won anything, but hey, I look good doing it. Cave on, baby. You kidding me, man? I got another hour to go. Let's go, baby. Hit the like button. Keep it here. Hour 3 coming up on the National Football Show.